Okay, I got my good buddy Joe Campbell in the studio today. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing real good. I'm excited to get you down here.
I know.
Super cool.
It's been a while.
The boys are back together, I guess.
It's been a while.
Sans Brett.
Used to, yeah. We'll find him somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get him down
grab
here
him.
for one of them.
Have to.
Yeah.
Have to get the gang back together.
Yeah, for people watching that don't know, me and Brett and Joe here used to do a BT IndieCast. I don't know how many years ago.
At least 10.
It was before we could do video and stream.
It was definitely before video. Because
Yeah.
I remember crammed in the little room next to us over there.
Doing audio.
Remember though, you couldn't look at us because the way we had our mic set up, and we were behind you on this couch.
Yeah, that's right.
We'd be back here talking, and you'd have your back to us,
That's pretty good.
and we'd be laughing. And that was
a decade ago.
That was
wasn't it?
when the podcast was like.
The first run of
People
it was
would
popular.
Be like, a podcast?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah,
That's hard, you know.
I know. And now anybody with an iPhone can do a podcast, really, and stream
absolutely.
it and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But it's super cool that you're here, and
I'm really glad to be here.
you've got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you're the guy now.
Don't say that too loud.
Well, I mean, you've it's not a new job, but I mean, it's relatively new. But you're the new. What's your title at the Mountain Arts Center?
Programming and marketing.
Programming and marketing, which means booking, marketing, washing dishes, whatever they.
Yeah, pretty much. Fix the popcorn machine.
Yeah.
No, actually, Clayton's better at that than me. So
Clayton, yeah. What's his title?
executive director.
Executive director.
Yeah, I report to him. So I guess that works. No, I'm just kidding, Clayton.
How long have you been at the Mac?
May will be 2 years.
2 years.
For my second round.
Yeah.
Second round.
Yeah, I mean, you started
Yeah.
the stagehanding and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
God, how many years ago? We're telling our age.
I know. 1999. I was 18 years old
Yeah.
and walked out on stage to be a stagehand, and there are you and Brett
Oh,
fighting over how you place a monitor.
I'm sure, right in the, just
And
the heat of
I'm
it.
like, how'd I get this job? But anyways, yeah, I was there from 99 to end of 2006.
Cool.
Doing stagehand, mostly sound, and worked my way up to assistant technical director before
That's
I
cool.
left. So
Well, is it good to be back?
it's really good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good.
The Mountain Arts Center has been around and has done a lot of awesome things.
22 years.
22 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always tell people it's a perfect, intimate little theater. 1,000 seats, roughly 1,100 or something.
Yep.
Not really a bad seat in the house the way the seating is arranged. I mean, you got a good view of everything.
Yes, the way it was laid out is perfect. The engineers, they did a really good job at laying it out, and top row is a great seat. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just I was there a couple of weeks ago or months ago. Time gets away from me for the Government Mule show.
Government Mule, yeah.
It was just so
great.
good.
That was great.
Was that kind of leads me to my next question? Out of the shows you've done so far, how many do you have a number of how many shows you've been involved in the last 2 years? I mean, you guys kicked the quantity up like crazy. I guess it's hard to quantify, front porch picking and stuff like that versus the national acts.
Right. Let's see. We did in 2017. We probably did, not counting Kentucky Opry and front porch picking.
Yeah.
We probably did 20
That's
headliners, mid headliners to headliners.
Yeah, that's a lot too. I mean,
It
for
is.
a theater the size that you guys have and the staffing that you've got, that's a lot of shows.
It is, and we wanted to hit the ground running so hard and working so hard. It's now we're looking back on it and we're like, wow,
Yeah.
that was awesome and tiring, but it really paid off. We had 12 sold out shows.
That's
in
awesome.
2017. 3 of those were Kentucky Opry, so 9 sold out shows. Headliner acts.
That's
touring
cool.
acts.
It's awesome to see this revitalization of the Mountain Arts Center. I would have to say it's been around so long it's hard to stay fresh. So there was a moment where it was kind of like, it's like that whole analogy, you see a poster so many times you don't see the poster anymore.
Yep.
Well, the Mountain Arts Center has been there so long you kind of didn't see it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It went through a period of a lot of different funding changes and different economies and things like that, and we're it's almost like the second generation.
Yes, 2.0.
Yes, because we all Clayton Case, the executive director, Shelley Crisp, the assistant director, and myself, we all have done almost every job in the building in years past.
Right.
So now it was kind of our turn to take over. And
well, it's really got a buzz right now. I mean, and a lot of things we'll get into that you guys are doing that I love that you're doing. First of all, just the eclectic booking that you're doing.
Yeah,
it's kind of and that's the perfect way to see what is a great fit. You guys aren't afraid to do that. It's like that shotgun effect. You scatter it out and see what's going to work. Yeah.
And I think we've done a good job at that because we're now seeing what we've talked about in the past. This area is a classic rock, southern rock, 70s rock crowd.
Yeah.
And it's that generation right now. They've got their kids.
Right. Well, they got all the money. I mean,
their kids are 20-somethings, so they're out of the house.
They want to come and have a good time.
They want to come and have a good time.
And to be honest, something like the Expo, first of all, they don't want to drive to Huntington.
Right.
And the Expo sometimes can be such a concrete, intimidating, big 7,000 seat wall. It doesn't facilitate itself well with that 50-year-old couple
crowd,
that want just a good evening. And
Expo is perfect for what they're doing. The big country acts, the big rock acts, the arena acts. But that's where we want to be. Is to fill that niche because people ask us all the time. Well, what about you going to try to do this because the Expo did? And we're like, no, we want the Expo to do awesome.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah.
It's a whole different kind of thing.
We want to fill that niche, and we're working hard at it.
The mechanics of booking shows, it's a artist cost versus how many seats you got. It's just math. And, the Expo's got Brad Paisley coming. There's no way you could do a Brad Paisley. The tickets have to be $3,000 a piece.
Right, exactly.
But then you've got some of the things you got coming. Marshall Tucker.
Marshall Tucker Band.
That's going to be great. And that's going to be it's going to be a full house and a super cool thing. You bring a Marshall Tucker into a 8,000 seat arena and they sell 2,000 tickets. It's going to look like a failure, kind of. And it's going to be a great night.
Different scales, different building, different, So that's where we want to be, and we're starting to figure out that's the genre that's doing well right now.
That's good.
And unfortunately, the Mountain Arts Center for so many years was known as the bluegrass venue, bluegrass music venue.
Bluegrass and Southern Gospel.
Southern Gospel still hangs up there, good crowds, but bluegrass is going down, unfortunately, because the crowd, the fans of bluegrass are literally dying off.
Yeah.
It's
strange, isn't it?
It's weird. Third time out, used to sell out.
Yeah.
We had 500 people there last year. So it's
it's
starting to see a change.
There's bluegrass fans, but it's that generation, I don't know where we're at, X, Y, Triple Z, I don't know what's the new one, but those guys I don't want to say they're lazy, but they just rather watch their bluegrass on YouTube, and I think bluegrass festivals, they want they'll hit that and see all the bands. That's interesting though. Bluegrass is those older guys are getting older and older, and they can't get out as much.
We had
that's something to think about. That's
it is,
good,
and we were starting to see that, and we've looked at our stats and things like that because we booked Steep Canyon Rangers, Grammy award-winning bluegrass group. Plays on Stephen Colbert and the late nights.
Right.
And before we added some things to that show, it was not selling at all.
Right.
And we had a somebody in the radio community said, see you got Steep Canyon, and we said, we're pretty excited about it. And he said, won't sell. He said, this is Ralph Stanley country. And we were like, we know, but we're trying to change, But anyways, that's it's interesting to look at the dynamics of the changing.
It's neat. You being on the other side of that, I'm sure it's been an eye-opening experience over these last 2 years.
It has.
Speaking of the shows, I know where this is going probably, but let me ask you just a few questions. What's the most fun? Now, not your favorite band per se, but what's the most fun you've had at the Mountain Arts Center since you've been there, as far as shows go?
Probably the first time we had the Eagles tribute is the band called The Long Run.
Yeah.
Great guys. They're based out of Florida, and we took a chance on them, just to see what classic rock would do around here. Tribute
classic rock.
And we sold 700 and some seats. The crowd was unbelievable. First of all, the band was great. Great musicians, of course. Great just to work with.
Right.
really down to earth guys. They were professional musicians for 40 some years,
Right.
and one just go do tribute stuff.
I heard super good things about the show.
That
too.
was a great day, great night. The crowd was great. I mean, that was probably the most fun we've had. And
That's
everything
awesome.
went smooth. It was good music,
Right.
good night.
I asked that specifically because I knew, Mule was
Yeah.
just a dream to be able to
was.
have Government Mule there.
I actually have listened to Government Mule live at the Mac, their show
Yes.
that they put out after
Right.
every show
Yeah.
on the way up here, and it hits me every time. I still don't think it's really hit me
I agree.
Because-
I get that. I was
because
sitting-
you were there for
yeah,
some of it.
I was sitting back there watching. I was there. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I was back there, and it was just unreal. It was
Yeah.
it was surreal to
It
think.
was. It's still.
Warren Haynes is down there right now.
Yeah.
In Prestonsburg, because it's not a secret that me and you
Right.
love that kind of music, and
and followed them everywhere.
yeah, and I'm sure the first thing you thought of when you got this job.
It
The
was
first thing you
it-
thought was like, now I'm going to get some of these bands.
It
and
was,
I'm
but
gonna-
I still thought, God, wouldn't it be nice to try to get Government Mule?
Yeah.
We've talked
It's
about
almost
it
like
for
a pipe
years.
dream, though, wasn't it? It was like,
It was.
you could never get
It
Government.
was because we would sit there on stage, you remember,
Yeah.
and on that stage and be like, God, can you imagine Mule in here? So it just kept staying in my mind. And once I reached out to them just for the heck of it,
Yeah.
check their price and their routing and everything, I was like, this might could happen.
Yeah.
And then they called me back. And I was like, yeah, let's talk. And
Yeah.
so anyways, long story short, it was
That's
the,
cool.
the morning that two tractor trailers pulled up out
Yes.
back,
Yeah.
and it was Government Mule. I started.
That's cool.
It got real.
You love. That's when you love your job. I mean,
Yes.
what's that saying? If you love what you do, you never work
You
again,
never work a
or
day.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was a little stressful
Yeah.
because number one, big show.
Big
Number
show.
two, you want to put on a good.
Right.
You want to make everything perfect.
Yeah.
But then every 10 minutes, I'd have to pinch myself. So
That's awesome. Well, one of the things that I've noticed since you guys have been there, and I think is awesome, and a lot of people don't understand how hard this is, but you guys have been really working with local artists, with openers, not just even openers, but allowing local artists to use the facility.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that means making it affordable
Yeah.
for local artists. I've noticed some CD release parties.
Yeah.
Troy just had one.
Troy did, yeah.
And people like Jason Goebel and Sean Whiting and others people that you're letting be opening. Waylon is going to be opening up.
This
so
weekend.
you're drawing from the local talent when it's feasible. And everybody's like, well, let's just call Joe. Why won't why can't and I get that at the expo all the time. I probably had almost a dozen bands contact me wondering why I won't let an opener for Brad Paisley. First of all, I have no power to
Right.
do anything.
Right.
Second of all, it just doesn't happen.
It's not
they
that
don't,
easy.
They don't let that happen at all.
it's not.
No.
And so
for you guys to even open the conversation to your booker.
That's
and
what
to-
we do.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
it's awesome.
that's what we've been emphasizing. Anytime we get close to signing the contract
Right.
on a show,
Yeah.
I will open the conversation of, all right, we have extremely awesome local talent.
Yeah,
I've got local talent that will open.
yeah.
What's your plan? Do you have an
Yeah.
evening with, or do you have somebody on your tour? And in 2 years we've been there, it's probably been 75%. They let me have a local opener.
Which is a crazy number.
Yeah.
And it just shows that you guys, lots of arenas and theaters say that they try,
Yeah.
but it shows that you guys are trying.
Yeah,
because,
we are. That's
and
what-
I love seeing that. When I saw, and and you're not just using the same guy. Some buildings grab a band they're comfortable with, and it's the same opener.
It's
every
easy
time.
for them.
Yeah, but you guys are mixing it up. I guess those guys, did they play down there?
Those guys opened for Exile.
Yeah, Sean Whiting, Jason Goebel, and I'm sure there's more. I can't think of.
Yeah.
Waylon is
Waylon's
doing
this
one.
weekend.
Yeah.
Shoot, I know there's more.
Well, but just as far as going back to open up the facility, so it's not this big wall of like I don't know what's in there. I mean, Chris Bentley, the
Chris.
band The Revival, is doing a CD party.
Yeah.
Is that going to be in the theater?
That's in the theater.
Yeah,
It
so-
starts out in the lobby
Okay.
with some food and light music, and then
Cool.
at 4:00 the doors open.
Oh, so
and
it's going to
so-
be a real Chris
Yeah,
Bentley
it is.
Revival experience.
He's bringing his hosting duties that he does in Lexington
Right.
to Mountain Arts Center because he said this is the dream of mine. He
Yeah.
said I this is one of my favorite places in the world.
Right.
He grew up seeing his dad up there at the Mac on stage.
Yeah.
So,
And who, if those of you who don't know, Chris Bentley, half of what was Sunday Best, and now in the Revival, which is phenomenal. And I'm lucky enough to play keys in the I'm like the house key guy for any of half a dozen bands. But
hey man, you're good. You're tasty.
I try.
You're diverse.
I don't take no for an answer. Really,
Well,
what it is. I just show
there
up.
you go. They barely get the question out, and you're like, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's just run down a few more things. I've actually made notes because I wanted to try to pack in a lot of info because I think people are going to watch this and want to know. They're getting a little inside on what's going on.
Yeah.
Dream booking. I know Mule happened, but now if you could pick one person for Joe, not for what's good for the building or the city, we don't care about that right now. Well, what would you like to see in there?
I'll be selfish here. After Mule has happened, I got to lean towards Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Oh yeah.
That
would just be.
I've kept my eye on some of the places they've been playing.
Yeah.
And I actually went and seen them last February or March.
Yeah.
And it was a 1,700 seat venue, and there was probably 1,000 people there. And that's when I went,
You might can get them.
this is looking better. You know?
Yeah.
I know there's different markets. There's going to be more.
Oh yeah.
But that was in Charleston.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Really.
So
Wow.
that's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's as of right now, that might be my dream booking.
That would be awesome. It would be my dream to see you book that. I just want you to know.
I'd say so.
That would be awesome. I put in my notes, and I wouldn't tell you, but we've kind of covered it already. But the one question everybody asks you is, man, can my band open up for?
Yes,
why won't you call me back? Is my my
Yeah.
band's good, and that's the up and the downside of being in a small town where you know everybody.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
all the bands around here before this job. You kind of knew most of them.
Oh yeah. I
So-
mean, I've been in the industry on and off for 20 years.
So personally, they're like, Joe,
Yeah.
why can't I open up for this band? And we've already put it out there though. I kind of asked the question too late, but I mean, you propose that all the time to these acts, and
constantly.
it's their call to go. And they don't. Sometimes they're like, I don't want an opener. We're doing our
Right.
thing. We don't want
Right.
that. We don't want the hassle.
They do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that just happens. But it's good that people can see that.
And you're right. Like as soon as this is no lie, I promise you. As soon as we're closing the deal on a concert,
Yeah.
getting ready to sign the contract, whatever kind of music it is, genre it is, I already have 2 or 3 bands in my head
Right.
of who it could be as an opener.
Yeah.
I already have that in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. I love local music and
I think just as good. I mean, the music scene around here is just hopping right now. We've talked about that. I've talked about it with a bunch of people, but you guys are doing your part. I think with using
it.
local people and mixing up the bands that you get there.
yeah.
Speaking of the bands, who you got? Can you, off the top of your head, give me a rundown of a few bands that's coming up?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Next weekend or this coming weekend
Yeah,
is the Revival.
the third, right?
The March 3rd. The
With
Revival.
amazing set.
It's turned into one big party
Yeah.
/ evening.
Yeah, bands like Magnolia Boulevard.
Magnolia Boulevard.
If anyone has never seen Magnolia Boulevard, you need to go see them.
Definitely, they are coming up quick.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. The Revival. Another band that I can't brag enough about is Brother Smith.
Brother Smith is
Oh
awesome.
my gosh. And
Right.
their keyboard guy is unbelievable.
He's pretty good. He's getting better.
I'll be playing twice that night.
Yeah, I know.
I even saw Waylon was playing.
Waylon's going to play in the lobby, if I'm not
Awesome.
mistaken. Me and Chris have shot lineups to each other for 3
And
weeks.
It'll
change.
It'll be elastic until
Yeah.
the
Oh,
day
yeah.
or two before.
Yeah, Short and Company. Man.
Short and Company, Jeremy.
Jeremy, they
Phenomenal
are
band. They're
tight.
going to be there. That's good.
If Birds Could Fly.
Yeah, If Birds Could Fly, I'll be there. So it's going to be a phenomenal. If you want to get a good cross section of the regional talent,
Yeah.
come to the Mountain Arts Center on the 3rd.
March
because
3rd. And
It's going to blow you away.
It's
actually,
combining what we've talked about of that Central and Eastern Kentucky awesome local musicians converging You know,
in a great facility. That's you can't ask for a better time. And
Right.
and I would say even to those people like, I don't want to go to a bar because if they play in a bar,
Yeah.
or those people that don't want to drive to Lexington, come to Prestonburg
Yeah.
and check this out.
Yeah,
I think
we've
you'll be
got it.
impressed.
We've got it. It's gonna be great.
Well, who else we got? The third is the revival on that
Revival.
thing. After that, what we got coming?
The next weekend is a local talent contest, Big Sandy Idol.
Oh yeah, always a
And
big
then-
deal.
Then March 16th, Ronnie Millsap.
Oh my gosh, that'll be good. What's the song? What
I always go to is Stranger in My Eyes.
Stranger? Oh yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Shout out to Brett Bentley.
Yeah.
But that's almost sold out, folks.
Okay.
We got less than 150 tickets.
How busy would you like to see the Mount Arts Center? I mean, I know you can only be so busy,
Right.
And maybe you're there. Are you busy as you guys can be?
We're real close. So we're looking at an average. We'd like to have an average of a pretty big show once a month.
Right.
12 to 15 big shows a year.
Yeah, and that's a lot. People don't understand too is there's only so much money in a town sometimes,
Right.
And that's why you have to switch up genres
Yeah.
because you can't have 3 bluegrass bands. They've already spent their money. They can't come to that
Right.
third one.
Right.
So, you guys are doing a great job of rock and comedians, country, bluegrass, gospel. Well, Joe, it's been super cool getting you to come down here and hang out.
It has been great.
It's awesome because we go back so far, and there's those friends in life you don't see each other for a year or 3 years, and
Yeah.
then as soon as you see them again,
It's
we're
like
right back
nothing.
in.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
exactly.
like we just.
And it's been kind of cool because you were at the MAC. Now we have been staying in contact more. It's been a neat thing.
It's been good.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I went back. So, me and you could
rekindle our
yeah.
friendship. Well, thanks for coming down, and
Thanks for inviting me.
we've talked off camera a little bit. I think we're gonna work something out where we can get you here on more of a regular basis,
Definitely.
and let's just keep because things are always happening at the MAC, so we need to
Definitely.
always be talking about
We
it.
can grab. We gotta get grab Brett one time. And
Oh,
then
that would be so.
I gotta
good.
get Clayton up here.
Yeah, I need to get Well, that opens the doors for a lot of that stuff. But
Awesome.
yeah, okay. Well, listen, I appreciate it. This has been
Appreciate
episode
you.
3 BT IndieCast, and it's been good.
Awesome.
See you, buddy.
Later.
And cut.